As we continue this journey that we're on in terms of looking at our game plan for daily spiritual growth, we're going to look at the fourth biblical fundamental today, and that is trust. There's no more powerful word for living out our faith than trust. Trust indicates a complete confidence, an unwavering belief, a rock-solid faith. King Solomon, in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verses 5 through 6, is talking to his son, giving him fatherly advice, but also he is leaving us with a beautiful portrayal of what it means to trust. And in those verses, Solomon says this. He says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not upon your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path." Our trust in God must be based upon God's character. 2 Timothy 2:13 tells us, "If we are unfaithful, he remains faithful, for he cannot deny himself." God is trustworthy. He cannot deny that. So when we put our faith in him, when we put our trust in him, we know that what he says is true. In Matthew 7, Jesus talks about building our lives upon bedrock, not upon sand, but upon bedrock, something that's firm. And in the book More, we have 5 bedrock truths of why God is trustworthy, of God's character. The first one is he is sovereign. God's sovereignty means that all power is his. All rules are his. Nothing happens in this world unless God causes it to happen or he allows it to happen. The second bedrock truth is God is all-knowing. All knowledge comes from him. All understanding is his. He is wise, and all wisdom comes from him. God knows our hearts. He knows our thoughts. He knows the plans he has for our lives. And he knows us by name. 7.8 billion people in this world, and God knows you by name. The third bedrock truth is that God is ever present. In Psalms 23:4, David writes a beautiful description of this when he says, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me." David had many trials and had people chasing him throughout the region. But he says, when I go through that valley of the shadow of death, when the storms are terrible, I know that you're with me, Father. Jesus, before he ascended, in one of his last words to the disciples, in Matthew 28:20, Jesus simply said, "I am with you always, even until the end of the world." That is such a comforting thought to us as we trust God daily with our lives. The fourth bedrock truth is that he will provide. Paul tells us in his word, he says, God is a God of provision. He says he will meet your needs as you have them. God knows exactly what you need. He knows exactly when you need it. He knows exactly who you need. He's never late. He's never early. He's never wrong. Trust in God that he will meet and provide for whatever you need in your life. And the fifth and final bedrock truth is God does not change. We live in a world of constant change, daily. We can't even keep track of it all. But there's that one fundamental truth about God, and it comes from Hebrews 13:8, when he says, God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And so as we go through this world, as we go through our daily lives, God is speaking 2 words to us. He's simply saying, trust me. If we trust in God, we'll experience that peace and that joy and that contentment that he wants us to have. Thank you.